Tons of talk surrounding Texas A&M football this offseason. Why? Money and expectations. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. We break down the game we all love each and every day with you. Best discussion, debate, and analysis of college football thanks to your contribution. Please like the video, share the videos out on social media, and subscribe right here at the Voice of College Football. We continue a series that we like to call, Is This the Year? Fill in the blank. Looking at various topics and questions across college football that have not been answered for quite some time. Check out the previous videos surrounding Iowa, Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson, and others. We have many more to produce. This is our next Is This the Year? Is this the year that Texas A&M finally wins a conference championship? People are talking Texas A&M national championship. That's the ultimate goal, but let's win a conference title for the first time since 1998. R.C. Slocum and the Aggies won that at the Sugar Bowl over Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game in New Orleans. And actually, at that point, Texas A&M had won 6 conference championships in the previous 14 years. Jackie Sherrill's Aggies in 1985, 86, and 87. And then R.C. Slocum in, again, 91, 2, and 3, and then in 98. So that's 7 and 14 years for Texas A&M football. But a dry spell of 23 years since. Many people would point to inclusion in the SEC and say, well, the SEC is the best conference. Texas A&M cannot win a conference title in the SEC. Well, that's only been for the past 10 seasons, an 0-13 drought in the Big 12. Let's check out the factors and the reasons why Texas A&M can win the SEC here in 2022 and why Texas A&M cannot win the SEC in 2022. All right. On the positive side, loaded with talent. Even before NIL, Jimbo Fisher was recruiting out of his mind, bringing in loads of talent to Texas A&M, especially on the defensive side of the ball. When we look at the 2022 class, it's arguably, and in terms of metrics, the best recruiting class in the history of college football. Most recruiting classes cannot be counted on to be immediate contributors on a large scale. Of course, these guys are just freshmen, but because of the amount of 5-stars, 9 5-stars, most of these guys will immediately see the field in integral impact roles, and so they will have an immediate impact more so than most recruiting classes or maybe any other recruiting classes across the nation. So the 2022 recruiting class that is out of this world could play an impact this fall. All right, number 2, Jimbo Fisher has won big games. He's won a national championship at Florida State, 3 ACC titles, so he knows how to win. At least the resume says Jimbo Fisher knows how to win. He's one of the few coaches in college football that own a national championship. Next up for Texas A&M in its quest to win a conference title, first and foremost, would be they have solved the Bama mystery. Alabama beats everybody all the time, and they owned Texas A&M, and Nick Saban had never lost to a former assistant until Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M pulled it off with a last-second field goal, 31-28 at Kyle Field. So, is the Bama mystique gone? Well, technically, yes. Texas A&M has solved the riddle. Can they do it in Tuscaloosa, though? And Nick Saban, again, at the end of this past season, lost to Kirby Smart, another former assistant. So before being a perfect record against his former assistants, Nick Saban has lost 2 of his last 3 against his former assistants. All right, and then finally, we've got a down SEC Western Division. Bama's still loaded, still the gold standard, despite a national championship game loss. However, Auburn's down. LSU is significantly down at this point until they prove otherwise. Ole Miss, Mississippi State are fine programs, as well as Arkansas. But if Texas A&M cannot get past those 3, which they failed to do in 2021, then they're nowhere close to winning an SEC championship. So they have to be given wins. And then with Auburn and LSU down, there could be a path for Texas A&M to get to the SEC championship game. So those are all the reasons why Texas A&M can get it done here in 2022. These are the reasons why Texas A&M cannot win the SEC. First and foremost, they've got an unproven quarterback. Well, Max Johnson threw 27 touchdowns. Well, let's revise that to either an unproven quarterback or a non-elite quarterback. Conventional wisdom in this day and age says offense wins big. Defense is needed to win championships as well. Georgia proved that as well. It can be done either way, but the other side of the ball has to be at least good, capable, top 25, top 30 in the nation. Can Texas A&M produce that kind of offense with either Max Johnson, who's limited, good, but not elite, or Haynes King? If Haynes King wins the job, as he did this time last offseason, he was the starting quarterback out of the gate over Zach Calzada. King got hurt against Colorado. We have not seen him since. So with an unproven or non-elite quarterback, can Texas A&M win the SEC? All right, next up, we talked about the 22 recruiting class. It's amazing, but can these freshmen be counted upon to play at a championship level? They'll be good. They'll show flashes. They'll be outstanding. A couple of them will break out and be close to all SEC performers. That's what the odds say. But can they have enough of an impact to lift Texas A&M past Alabama to an SEC championship game? All right, next up is that three of the most important defenders on a defense, and defense has been the calling card for Texas A&M under Jimbo Fisher in recent years. Aaron Hansford's gone. You've got DeMarvin Leal. He's gone. And Michael Clemens, defensive end, drafted. 2 lost in the draft. 3 of their top, probably most important defenders are gone off the 2021 team. Can Texas A&M restock on defense and be just as good, if not better, championship caliber in 2022? And, of course, offensive star Isaiah Spiller's gone, replaced by Devin O'Shane, one of the more spectacular players in college football. Spiller was the guy that showed carry after carry, drive after drive to be that consistent force. Can O'Shane take the load and be the star? He certainly has all the talent in the world to be that guy. In Texas A&M, void of wide receiver, proven wide receiver production, needs that guy to be Devin O'Shane, and they need some breakout players at wide receiver as well. Other reasons why Texas A&M cannot get it done in the SEC in 2022. Yeah, we talked about Jimbo's resume, but the championship resume is all at Florida State. Jimbo Fisher, 34-14 at Texas A&M. He is 21-12 in the conference. Decent numbers, but not we pay you $8 million a year to get it done, Jimbo Fisher, in the SEC kind of numbers. So he has yet to prove it in the SEC. And look at guys at other stops. Lane Kiffin took over a program at Ole Miss that was not nearly as good as what Texas A&M was prior to Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher did not take over a reclamation project. Sure, he had to lift it from decent, top 25 decent, to championship level. He has yet to do so. Jim Harbaugh didn't take over as good a program at Michigan or Mac Brown at North Carolina. And again, I mentioned Lane Kiffin. Dan Mullen's out of a job. He did not take over as good a program at Florida and lifted them to an SEC championship game and 3 New Year's 6 games. So Jimbo Fisher's got to prove that he can win at Texas A&M. And finally, yes, Texas A&M solved the Bama mystique, but can Texas A&M really get through Bama and Georgia? That is a tough assignment that has proven to be a faulty one here for the SEC in recent years. We appreciate you being here, right here at the Voice of College Football. Please like, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on Texas A&M's chances in 2022. I give him a 15% chance of getting it done and answering our question, is this the year Texas A&M wins the SEC? Give us your recommendations, your requests down below, right here at the Voice of College Football.